Jessica Carter had always been fiercely independent. At 35, she was thriving in her career, recently promoted to a senior marketing executive at a top firm in downtown Chicago. It was the job she had worked tirelessly for, the one that came with prestige, a fat paycheck, and the promise of a brilliant future, but it also came with the price: long hours, constant travel, and endless meetings. Her 6-year-old daughter, Emma, was the light of her life, but with her new job's demands, Jessica knew she couldn't manage it all alone. Emma was a vibrant little girl with wild, curly hair, a love for drawing, and a passion for building things. Her imagination was endless. She could turn cardboard boxes into castles, bedsheets into tents, and paper into airplanes that could, in her mind, fly to the moon. Jessica wanted to be there for every moment of her daughter's growth, but reality was pulling her in another direction. She needed help, and that meant finding the right nanny. Jessica spent several days interviewing potential nannies. There were older women with decades of experience, young college students looking for part-time work, and even a few former teachers. None of them felt quite right until she met Tiana Williams. Tiana was a 24-year-old college graduate, warm-hearted, with a calm presence that immediately put Jessica at ease. She was young, but had a maturity beyond her years. She spoke gently and listened intently, her eyes filled with kindness. "I've always loved working with kids," Tiana explained during her interview, her voice soft but confident. "I've been babysitting since I was a teenager, and I've worked in after-school programs. I think it's important to be patient and nurturing, especially when parents are busy." Jessica liked Tiana instantly. She appreciated Tiana's straightforwardness and the way she connected with Emma during the interview. Emma was usually shy around strangers, but she warmed up to Tiana quickly. Emma showed Tiana the drawings she had done and even made a quick paper airplane just to demonstrate her skills. That evening, Jessica made her decision. Tiana was hired. In the weeks that followed, Tiana settled into her new role seamlessly. She would pick Emma up from school, help her with homework, and engage her in creative activities that brought out her playful side. When Jessica came home from work, she often found Emma and Tiana on the living room floor, surrounded by colored pencils and glitter. Tiana had a knack for making every day an adventure, whether it was a trip to the local park or simply baking cookies in the kitchen. Emma adored her, and Jessica was relieved. She could focus on her job, knowing her daughter was in safe and capable hands. But life has a way of testing even the best plans. One Thursday afternoon, Jessica was buried in work. Her day had been a whirlwind of meetings, urgent emails, and last-minute calls with clients. As she prepared for a late meeting, her phone buzzed. It was Tiana. "Hey, Jessica," Tiana said calmly, but Jessica could hear a hint of urgency in her voice. "Emma had a little accident while making paper planes. She got a cut on her hand. It's a bit deep, but I've cleaned it and bandaged it. She's doing okay. But I wanted you to know." Jessica's heart leapt into her throat. A cut? How bad could it be? She apologized to her colleagues, grabbed her bag, and rushed out of the office. As she navigated through traffic, her mind was racing with worry. Was it more than just a cut? Would Emma be scared? She felt the familiar pang of guilt she had known since taking the job, the constant struggle of trying to balance her responsibilities as a mother and her drive for career success. When Jessica arrived home, she found Emma sitting on the couch, her hand wrapped in a neat bandage, carefully secured. Tiana sat beside her, calmly telling her a story about brave explorers who faced all kinds of dangers, but always found a way to keep going. Emma's eyes were wide with fascination, listening intently to Tiana's soothing voice. Jessica rushed over, kneeling in front of her daughter. "Hey, sweetheart, let me see." Emma extended her hand, revealing the cut beneath the bandage. It was deeper than Jessica had imagined, but it was perfectly cleaned and dressed. "Are you okay?" Jessica asked, her voice trembling slightly. Emma nodded, a small smile on her face. "It was just a paper plane, Mommy, but it went too fast and got me." Jessica laughed softly, relieved that Emma was more concerned about her flying contraption than her injury. She turned to Tiana, still a bit shaken but grateful. "Thank you, Tiana. I didn't know you knew first aid." Tiana smiled modestly, her demeanor as calm as ever. I took a first aid course last year. I figured it was something every caregiver should know, just in case. Kids are always finding ways to surprise us. Jessica nodded, realizing that Tiana had just handled a situation that she herself might have panicked over. Jessica knew basic first aid, but seeing how Tiana had managed everything so calmly, without hesitation, impressed her. It wasn't just about knowing what to do. It was the way Tiana had made Emma feel safe and cared for, as if it were the most natural thing in the world. That evening, as Emma drifted off to sleep, Jessica and Tiana sat in the kitchen with cups of tea. You know, I never thought about asking if you had first aid training. I just assumed. Jessica trailed off, realizing how many assumptions she had made. You handled today better than I would have. Tiana shrugged gently. It's just part of the job. But honestly, I think it's also about being there for kids when they need us, in any way we can. Emma is a great kid. I'm just glad I could help. Jessica looked at Tiana, seeing her in a new light, not just as the person she hired to watch her daughter, but as someone who genuinely cared, someone reliable and capable. From that day on, Jessica and Tiana's relationship grew stronger. They became a team, co-parenting in a way that felt natural. Jessica started relying on Tiana not just for childcare, but also for advice on handling Emma's quirks and challenges. They began to share more about their lives, their backgrounds, and their dreams, learning from each other along the way. Jessica admired Tiana's resilience and quiet strength, and Tiana found inspiration in Jessica's drive and determination. They were different in many ways. Jessica, the career-driven single mom, trying to make it all work. Tiana was the young woman with a heart full of compassion and dreams of her own, but together, they formed a bond built on mutual respect and trust.